Hey there, everybody. Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with a look at a beautiful holster from the company Vedder Holsters. Here in my hands, this is the Prodraw holster, a very slim, minimalistic Kydex holster for your firearm, and a specific firearm for me today. I will be using my SIG P226 Legion single action only. And the nice thing about Vedder holsters, well, first off, they come with very nice, high quality form fit Kydex that is extremely well done, made in the USA, which is fantastic. And in this particular case with the Prodraw, this is about as slim of a package as you can get. You can pick right hand, left hand, and in my particular case, not only did I pick the SIG P226 Legion SAO, which is very specific, but I also got this optics cut ready, which is really going to make a difference for my ability to get the holster, where it needs to be on my belt and the firearm buried deep inside with appropriate trigger coverage and buying the space that you need for the optic. And we should see a very nice high quality click, which we do. No rattle, no movement whatsoever. Just a perfect fit for my SIG P226 Legion SAO. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Vedder Holsters who did provide this for review. And if you like what you see here today, do me a favor, take a look in the description box below where you can find all of the relevant links for your own Vedder products. Whenever possible, I'll put affiliate links and discount codes to try to save a little bit of money. So if you like what you see here today, again, do me a favor and check out the description box below. So again here, the Vedder Holsters Prodraw OWB, or outside the waistband. Now for me, this particular firearm being fairly large is not typically something I'm going to carry inside the waistband, but I am always looking for good quality holster solutions. And keep in mind that for me, holsters, it's kind of like a chick in a new purse. I like to change it up from time to time. Now, granted, I'll give it the fact that once you figure out things that work with firearms, it's kind of like you should probably go with it. But at the same time, keep in mind the fact that A, I'm a reviewer, and it's my responsibility in many ways to continue to advance, figure out what works and doesn't work, find new products and find things that work for me so that I can demonstrate how they work potentially for you. And that's the first thing. Second is I like to experiment and learn new ways to carry my firearms, and that means, different holsters, and in some cases, different means or methods or mechanisms in the holster that allows me to carry in a slightly different way. And today we're looking at this paddle style, which, as you take a look at this here, again, paddle style, this is going to be extremely easy to get over my belt. You can see that it has a simple clip, and that will index underneath the belt and grab on with those little protrusions. So those kind of teeth under there will hold on to the belt, no problem. But the paddle should be very simple to slip under my belt and then get it off at the end of the day when I'm done with my range session or when I need to store the firearm. So that should work out extremely well. And the next thing you're going to see, well, the way this is molded is very advantageous for a couple of reasons. First off, you'll notice that this raised part here will accommodate suppressor height sights. So even though my particular firearm at this time has lower sights, if I was to change those and go with higher sights, that would accommodate that very well. So that leaves this flexible and versatile for my needs. The next thing is this is molded with what they call the sweat guard. And you can either get these molded with or without. Now, I opted for it because this is going to ride on my side, and because it's an outside the waistband design, that shouldn't bother me at all. However, if you wanted to, you can actually get these without that sweat guard, which will reduce the overall footprint, minimize the design. You can get these right hand or left hand carry, And you can get these in a number of colors. You can see I opted for this beautiful gray carbon fiber style, which is not perfect for my firearm, but my firearm has that, you know, Legion greenish gray color, kind of muted in the first place. I wanted to play off of the grips, which although they're black, they have just a hint of like a grayish color, and I thought that would work out well. I typically like muted or, you know, low profile colors. I don't like anything with a lot of bright color to it. So this was about perfect for me. And not only that, but beyond all of this, you have the ability to completely dial in the retention, leveraging this retention screw, which will then pull this tighter. So if you want a little more grip, tighten that down. You want to loosen it up, loosen that right up, no problem. So you can dial in your retention depending on what you're trying to do with your firearms. But literally right away and quote unquote out of the box, this is absolutely perfect. I literally wouldn't change a thing. Now as you take a look at this paddle, on the inside, there are 2 sets of holes which will allow this to cant 15 degrees forward or back, depending on your preference. This is currently in the neutral position, straight up and down. So that's going to be the most neutral cant. But then again, you can swivel this 15 degrees either direction, which depending on your shooting style, body type, your carry style, what you're trying to do, you can certainly change things up. Just simple with a couple of screws, fairly standard in terms of your ability to adjust that. And when it comes down to the overall design elements and the construction, not only is this nice high quality Kydex, but 0.08 in terms of the thickness. So this is not the thickest Kydex, but it's also not thin. So it's a perfect middle ground where they get an excellent form, really nice vacuum sealed form right around that trigger, right through that well, up around the muzzle. You can see very well defined, but it's not too thin where it feels cheap. It's literally that perfect weight where it's thick enough yet thin enough that you get that quality mold, nice quality click, excellent retention, and it's not going to be too heavy. So all in all, perfect in my opinion from the design perspective. Now again, made in the USA, which is awesome. That's great. So this day and age, gotta kind of pay attention to that stuff. You can see just very well done. As I rotate around, you can see how that sweat guard comes around the back of the firearm. And in this particular case, because this is the single action only, I do need to accommodate my safety. So here you can see that manual safety, and that works no problem inside the channel that is formed on that sweat guard. So all in all, beautiful design, and they're thinking through the user's experience. So again, very well done. Now just real quick to demonstrate the difference between having this cut for the optic and not. You can see here, similar holster in a way, Kydex shell, different company, different brand, a little bit of a different design philosophy. But you can see as I go to take the firearm and get that into the holster, that does not have full trigger coverage. It can't go all the way in. And then I bottom out on the optic. So to me, one of the biggest advantages is the ability with Vedder to actually select the optics cut. And I love that you can do that. You can't always do that with every company. And I would suggest no matter what, if you think you're going to use this with a firearm that has the potential even to put an optic on it, just get it optics cut so that you're ready. Now this is where the paddle holster really does come into play. The ease of getting this onto my belt. So let's just say I'm rolling into the range and I want to get things going. That paddle right there should be very simple. I have a nice high quality and thick gun belt on, and the ability just to take that, slide it over, and I am already ready to go. Withdraw, easy, one hand, no problem. That perfect click, no fear that that's going to pull off. That is just completely locked into place, but my ability now to get under the paddle and slide that out nice and safe minimal in terms of pulling and tugging. I didn't have to undo my belt. And I can put this in a number of locations depending on my carry style or my need. If I was trying to cover this under a garment, no problem. Rotate that back a little bit, get my cover garment over this, and then I'm kind of on the move. I'm still concealed where this sits high enough that it's up on my hip and I can sit down easily, and that might protrude just a little bit, but then again, I could cant this forward and get the benefit of my ability to sit down, and that would kind of rock the firearm a little more forward. So again, depending on what you're trying to do, leaves this very flexible in terms of your carry style, but more than anything, extremely easy to get this on or off your belt. And so again, for me, nice quality holster is like a chick in a good purse. I change them out all the time, but that's by design. So I can learn, so I can experience, and so I have different ways to carry my firearms. It's not every scenario where you need, the exact same thing. Sometimes you need to change it up. I have holsters that ride nice and low. I have drop legs. I have chest harnesses that will hold my firearm tight against my chest. This is another opportunity to get this nice, high up on my hip, simple to get this on and off. It's extremely efficient, holds the firearm well, does exactly what I need, accommodates my sights, which is awesome, gives me the ability to manipulate and maneuver my safety. Everything about this just works. So again, to the people at Vedder, thank you so much for providing this for review. For the rest of you, look in the description box below where you can find this Prodraw holster or many other holsters out there. Whether you're a SIG fan or any other firearms company, they have a ton of options, different colors, different configurations, right hand, left hand, you name it, there is going to be something for you. So take a look in the description box below. And whenever possible, as I mentioned, I try to put affiliate links and discount codes, and that really helps the channel. And if you like this channel, do me a favor. Look at my other Outer Limitless family of channels. The Outer Limitless primary channel being outdoor hiking, camping, backpacking experiences. This is Outer Limitless 2, covering tactical and firearms. Outer Limitless Blades, all those sharp and pointy things, and Outer Limitless Lights, which covers headlamps, EDC lights, indoor, outdoor lighting, you name it. That's the Outer Limitless family of channels. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.